Okay. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with our good friend Brandon Gifford, who has just managed to come top 64 at the Oceanic World Championship Qualifier this year in Brisbane. We both played the exact same deck, card for card. It's a very powerful deck. He got unlucky in top 64, very rough. I got unlucky through the day, but you know, he played the deck better than I did, and he did better than I did, and that's all that matters. This deck is crazy strong. We copied the homework, we made some minor alterations, and yeah, follow for local success. You want to go through some of the cards?
Yeah, sure. Starting with the Mitsurugi cards, obviously 3 Habakiri, 2 Murakumo, 1 Futsu, and then each of the one-offs. These are like the normal summon / sends of the deck. And then something that's not very standard, 3 ritual spell, because you play a lot of ritual monsters. So hard during the spell is like really good if your Sarge gets ashed or something like that.
Yeah.
It lets you push through if your Sarge gets stopped, which is like what people are, like the choke point people are going for.
Yeah, let's see, play through more hand traps. There was a time where we were considering cutting the Aramasa in general, because it doesn't, like, you don't need it for the combo, and it doesn't feel as good as, like, you don't need it as the other two. But it's good for the times where you open, like, any of the 5 ritual spells. I guess 8 ritual spells are in the deck with pre-prep. Whenever you open any of those and you don't get hand trapped, you just can end on a better board with a Futsu as well. What's this guy's name? Manji?
Yeah.
The level 4 guy, the normal summon, it's a starter, but like you don't want to start it, so we cut it from 2 to make room for other cards in the deck, because like you need your normal summon in like the broken combo. So we got rid of that entirely, and then we put it back in at 2, and then we cut it down to 1, because I think it just makes sense at 1. It makes it less a clean 45. Feels nice when you need it.
It's more just a slot the side going second. You always take the side going second.
Yeah.
As well. Then next is obviously 3 prayers. This cut like most broken card in the game. And maining the Magatama. I think it was didn't come up a lot for me today, but I think I was more happy with it in my main deck than I would be without it.
Yeah.
Because you can search 3 times as well, because you have 3 names. Like if you already drew prayers or something, you can search this in your combo like game 1, so you have an extra interruption.
Yeah. It's one of the rituals for one of the spells for Aramasa. Just good going second against like the Baguskas and the DDDs of the format, because those are quite hard to deal with a lot of the time.
Yeah.
If you don't get Protoist and they have either of those on the field, you can just search this with like a Habakiri and the Saji off of the Habakiri and be happy and get rid of it and then just play. This card is good, I think you need to play it.
And then the pre-prep. It's like for consistency in this spell, because you play the 3 names, you can also search the spell in your combo to summon Futsu.
But like, you always draw those cards together, so nothing ever matters.
Yeah, I've like 3 times I drew them together, so I lost once because of it, but it is what it is. I think it's a necessary evil. And then the Ryzeal cards in the deck, there's 1 Bonfire, 1 Ice, 2 X, a Sword, and a Node. X, out of the 2 light pyros, X is the better one to start with than Ice, because you don't want to use your normal summon. But if you start like that, it locks you out of doing the Fiendsmith stuff. But it by itself, you'd rather have Ryzeal and Mitsurugi stuff than not have anything, obviously. Yeah. So X is insane. The reason why you only play 1 Ice is because the amount of normal summons in the deck is already kind of high. Like if you draw Sword by itself or Ice by itself or any of the little guys, you want to normal them. And then Bonfire is just like extra copy of them, and also it's like a slot the side out. And we felt like Node was, I wouldn't say it was like, it's not needed for the combo to resolve, but it's a lot more free flowing if you have Node.
It makes your combo cleaner.
Yeah. Because you can search Node and Sword, because your X Ryzeal doesn't get to search, and you don't get the fire. So you have to search the Sword off the do a drive.
It's also just something to search if you open this, or it gives you another push after you get board wet with Murukamo.
Yeah.
This is what we cut the other Manju for. I just felt like when you're playing and you get to the point where you have a bunch of bodies on the field and you have like Banshee and stuff, and you need the extra attribute in graveyard, and you don't want to banish like other extra deck monsters that are important, other light monsters for Protoss. It's important to get rid of the other material from the Banshee by sending it, just so you can have more attributes in graveyard, and then you can end on like more things.
Yeah, this gives you an extra rank 4.
You get like you end on a detonator with everything else, whereas without it, it's harder to end on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, this gives you an extra rank 4. To the combo.
We don't play Star, we don't play Cross because the Ryzeal cards are honestly like the worst cards in the deck,
Yeah,
which is crazy to say.
Ryzeal cards.
But you know, Star and Cross, they just are not good to draw at all. For not enough reward.
Yeah, the deck was just made to be like maximum consistency through hand traps. Like if you're getting drawed every game, you would like rather hard open like a ritual spell on a guy than like more Ryzeals that just do the same thing, and then you don't even get cross.
Yeah.
And you already have so many normals, so you don't want to have to normalize, etc. So yeah, that's why there's so many little Ryzeals. And then next up,
obviously we played the Fiendsmith engine as well.
Yeah, the Fiendsmith, just the small engine. These are the only things that are like necessary to play. These cards just allow you to be really flexible on the draw, because usually like a Ryzeal Mitsurugi deck like would just pass to draw. Because if they start with like Hybrid Curie or something, they can't convert their bodies that they get into anything. But in this deck, if you get drawled after you Saji search, then you just get to make like a Caesar, Murukamo, and you can end on it depends on how many bodies you can get, but you can also end on a Dynamundo as well, or an IP.
Yeah.
And these cards are the ones that let you do that. And they also allow you to bridge into the Ryzeal cards as well.
Yeah. And honestly, you can just play these two. I didn't like having this card in my deck at all.
I started this out going second.
Yeah, started out all the time, but it's just needed in the deck for when you draw this, and you have to get this out of your hand for this to be relevant at all.
Yeah, otherwise you can't do anything with it.
The payoff of the Ryzeal cards is so massive that you need to get this out of your hand. So you play this instead. You play this to literally just get this out of your hand. Half the time it just sucks to activate. But
yeah, going first it's fine, but going second it sucks because you can only attack with fiends. So it's very restrictive like that.
And obviously it's this over Tract, because Tract you need to play low as well, and you can't activate Tract under draw, and you're getting drawn probably every game.
So yeah, it's just built to play around draw as well.
Yeah.
Instead of the Tract. Tract is just worse. You don't need the extra Light Fiend. I feel like making Desiree was just worse than Caesar in like almost every situation.
Yeah.
Because you'd rather play around Nib and have the Caesar for Mitsurugi cards really good against them.
There's lines where you do make the Desiree first to like end on everything, but it's super greedy.
It's way too greedy. Like you can do it, but I would rather just make a Caesar.
Yeah, it's so much safer.
Yeah.
But it's nice when you get everything off. Then we got just non-engine and hand traps. Oh, sorry, yeah.
The best cards in the deck.
Praise the Lord Protoss.
Yeah. So this is just like the most broken card in the game. Yeah, like it shouldn't be legal.
Shouldn't have come off the ban list. Ryan has done irreparable damage to the format.
Yeah, no, it's just absurd.
Yeah.
So yeah, you banish your Nightsword Serpent when you link it off to have the name for flag to summon, and then Protoss Call Dark just beats every Mitsurugi variant. Call Light just beats
everything else.
Ryzeal, and you have access to like Fire, Light, Dark. I think
there's like you can get like 4 actions going.
Yeah, but you don't need to call anything else in Dark most of the time.
If this card isn't in your deck is probably just bad.
Yeah, like this is just a free win button. Like you just summon this card and you just win. Like it happens so many times where I just summoned Protoss and called whatever I needed to call, and it's like
Scoop. Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. It's just so broken. You need to play.
Yeah,
wins games on its own, and drawing it too is really nice. Like drawing either of these pieces is really good because it means you don't need to jump through hoops to get them.
Yeah, you can get like just surrounded. It's like happened before. It's like I get drilled and then combo and then at the end,
Like,
summon Protoss. And
Going
just, like,
second, when you draw it, you just use your hand to bait out everything, and you dump a bit, you summon a Protoss, and you just...
Yeah, Protoss in a simplified game stage.
Yeah, so it's so broken.
It's absurd.
Now,
And then-
we just have non-engine.
Yeah, no, engine. Oh. One of
Call by,
because
'cause
Droll's in
Charming is
everyone's
Drolls.
Droll, yeah, in the main deck. I'm so rich. 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and then 2 Bisteals.
Yep.
The Fuas are like mandatory to play pretty much. It's just good into everything. We cut the Perilias out of the main deck for Ashes because Perilia's like only really good into Ryzeal cards, like not really like good into Mitsurugi cards, like that you just choose to play around it.
Furu's in a bad spot, like right now we thought. It's not as good as it was previously. Furu is obviously still fine into everything. We bumped the Ashes up because you need to stop this.
Yeah, you need to stop Fu, and it's also good to Ash to Saji.
Yeah.
And then have to play 3 Droll because it's just
Droll.
like a FDK.
And then these two, I really wanted to make concessions in the main deck, like get rid of things so we can play these two because everyone's playing a Mitsu deck and these cards are just broken into it.
Yeah, and the Magnemite, as well as being interruption, gets you the Jerusalem with another interruption, and then these two can turn into Moon.
Yeah,
well.
they're just bodies for Fiendsmith.
Yeah.
And it's a send, like it's so absurd.
It's bonkers.
Extra deck, we played a Moon to convert into a Requiem, to convert into this, whatever, like Fiendsmith stuff, super generic, so super rich as well. Yeah, Brandon. Yeah, you just play this. This is really safe, but if you want to, like this is a water for Protoss as well. If you want to, you can convert it to this. Like we said, it's really greedy, but it just makes your combo really broken because you just end on like this, Protoss, Detonator, Murukamo, and Perez, or like post side you end on Purification instead. Like it's so absurd everything that you can do with this deck. Greedy, but you need to play it because of the Paradise.
Trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did summon this.
Yeah.
Actually,
I summoned it
I only sent it a few times.
I summoned it a fair bit
necessary.
because it helps to kill, obviously, just because it gets so big to 58. This is, unironically, you're only out to Lunalight Towers in the game, and people are playing that card. Like, I
There
don't
are
know,
like 6
helps.
people on a deck in the room.
Yeah, I mean, it's being a massive beat stick that can't be targeted and does piercing damage, like, unironically, it just comes up sometimes. IP Dynamundo. This card is really good.
Yeah, no, I really like the Dynamundo. I would much rather have this than SP. Like, most of the time, this is just being made, like, going first if you like get drolled or something like that. If you don't have prayers, so then you can summon the Murukamo on your opponent's turn. Or going second, this is like to add a Baguska or just like anything. Yeah, I would much rather have this than SP. It's a lot more accessible because you don't really want to be linking off like the Fiendsmith stuff to make SP to get the banish. And the only other things like other Ryzeal monsters, but you're going to be locked when you want to do that. So the Dynamundo, you can just use the ritual monster instead of having to use an extra deck monster as well. So it's just easier to make. And it also beats over Baguska because it's bigger than 2k. It's stopped.
It's also really good on its own without IP. Like going second, it's obviously good. Or even if you're like getting stopped and you just convert into this, like if you can't get access to prayers for whatever reason, just make this and then you have prayers anyway. Essentially, like it's just nice to have as like a plan B. Rich. For the things that aren't rich, we have Duo Detonator. So we're making Duo with Asaji or whatever level 4 and whatever
Lacrima.
Mitsu level 4 and Lacrima, and then that's searching X and Ice. The X is a bit of follow-up, and then you can do everything else with the Ice, and it's kind of clean. And then obviously Detonator because the card's broken and just comes back every turn, and you know you can call light with it, and it protects itself against like Blue Eyes or White Forest or anything, any Fiendsmith deck or whatever. Just not much to say about those. This is an extra attribute that is safe to banish for Protoss.
And the thing that gets you Protoss.
Yeah, also gets you Protoss in general.
Yeah.
Not much to say there. This lets you start if you only have like Ryzeals, like gets you access to your Mitsu stuff, that's all it is. It's another rank, these are all rank 4s for twins, I guess. This is one we want to talk about. This is like the SP in the...
The Gallant.
Yeah, this is like either of those in the Dinkabui deck, but I thought this card was really, it was safe to make. It was fine. It's again an extra attribute for Protoss, but it's also just like clean follow up because a lot of these games, when Protoss is being used, sometimes you have hand traps to just stop your opponent from killing you, and then like this dumping with the second X that you get from the original duo search, just to bring back the Dedo and clear the field and then start playing again is like fine. Yeah, I thought this card was really good. I didn't really send it. I don't know about you. I didn't really send it a lot first. I sent this more on the first turn, but this was more like the follow up, definitely.
Depends on the matchup.
Yeah, depends what you're expecting.
Yeah.
And then this obviously amazing going second card. It's fine going first to put under detonator.
Yeah, extra Ryzeal was really cool.
Yeah, all this stuff is just super standard. We didn't play Gallant Granite because we thought
Nib just like
it doesn't do enough.
Yeah, Nib's just not really that good. Like, and in maybe it feels like pure Mitsurugi is fine because then you can trigger all your stuff. But like in this deck, you have like the detonator that you want to stick and
the
stuff like that.
GDD and stuff.
Yeah, so you don't want to just kill your
it doesn't
own board.
feel as good. And
I don't feel like what's that? The little dinosaur.
Yeah.
The rock dinosaur thing.
Fossil Dino.
Fossil Dino? Yeah, I don't feel like doing that to people.
We didn't play that because A, it's kind of rude. Not that matters in a WCQ, but it's also just not. It doesn't matter when your board is so broken anyway, right? Like if you get
it's
Protoss,
like just win more.
Yeah,
anyways.
If you get Protoss off, like what is your Dino doing, right? They can't summon anyway.
Yeah.
It's kind of just
like
redundant.
If you're full comboing, you're just one anyways.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then side deck.
Okay. In the side.
Let's get it.
Yeah, the Wanaskados Dragon. This is like, maybe I could have played more of this, but I never actually summoned it. It's like, you would really, it's like fine to hard summon going second, but if, like most of the field is playing the Mitsurugi cards as well, so if you just like Cool Reptile or something, you also can't play, but
that's where the Fiendsmith stuff comes up, right?
Yeah, that's where the Fiendsmith comes up as well. You just need to, if they're playing bigger Mitsurugi engine, you just win.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they have access to multiple, then it can be hard, but it's just another lock.
Yeah, this is just another Protoss for going second, really. Is it the only time you would ever side this in? So, like, again...
against Blue Eyes, you decide to go first.
Going second, you just side this in, so you're more likely to hard draw a Protoss, essentially. And, like, you just, again, use your entire hand or as much as you need to bait out everything, and then you drop this and you win the game, and that's all it is. And then against Blue Eyes, you also can... This is just better than Protoss, because you can call Dragon, and then it doesn't affect any of your stuff. Yeah, whereas the Protoss calling light or dark does affect you, but if they can't play, it's better for you, and then you can just reborn things next turn anyway.
Yeah,
let's get it, bro.
Broken. And there's 3 lands here for Malice.
Standard.
Yeah, you just have to play this. Also good against like a random other deck.
It's good against Luna.
Yeah, apparently.
Two of each Charmy. The other ones, they just didn't feel great.
No, they didn't. I think Meows felt the worst out of any of them for me, but.
I guess it just depends on what you queue into, right?
Yeah, it just depends on the matchup. I felt like I wanted 3 of this, but it didn't really matter, I don't think.
This was good for me, because I queued into this, round 1 I queued into Lunalite, so I was like, oh damn, this is so much better than Puru Red, but it's just dependent. I think it's fine to have even split of both, because you never know what you're going to queue into. You could just... How much Mouse did you queue into?
None.
Yeah, right, but if you queued into more, you'd want 3 of this.
Yeah,
stuff like that. I think it's fine to have a 2-2 split.
Yeah.
Next, maybe the other most broken card in the game. This one?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Talents. This is just like a free side card. Yeah. And going second. If your opponent's also playing like a Protoss as well, you can Talents take their Protoss, which is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that, but it happened to me, and my opponent forgot to call the attribute. So, yep, thank you. And then there's Lightning Storm. This is just another generically good card to side going second. Yeah, it's really good into Ryzeal stuff if you don't get the hand trap in, because you have to kill the cross, and then without cross it's really easy to beat the board.
Yeah, it's also there for Malice too, because of the set traps. You can just make them irrelevant or make them use them at
force them
really
straight away.
inopportune times, or like a random, it's Australia, right? Random stun deck that you might play against.
Yes, exactly.
Just random stuff. And then we have
And then
5
for
card
going
cards.
first, the 2 traps, and then 3 ulti solemn judgments.
Yeah.
Solemn ulti, sorry.
Or you can only play the ulti specifically. This was just the better solemn of like the 3 choices you have. Judgment's too expensive. It also just doesn't stop monster effects.
Yeah.
Solemn Strike doesn't stop the ritual spell. This stops everything that you want to stop. This stops the really important things in the game because no one's playing board breakers right now.
Yeah,
this
so
is
you don't
fine.
need judgment. Like if you
Yeah.
get harpies, it's like you have this going first for harpies anyways. So one's the better one of the
Yeah.
2.
And then this is for if you get hand trapped. Really.
And
It's
yeah.
just DDD. This you're probably fine most of the time.
You don't want to main deck the Paradise just because you want it to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
But then post side deck going first, this is your, like if you get drilled, you have an extra interruption as well.
Yeah. The side out is like the Charmies, the
Yeah, there's always
Level
5 to do.
yeah.
There's-
It's a free side really.
yeah, I always side out these 3 going first.
Take out the.
Side out this and then.
Kind of depends. Sometimes I take out the Magatama. Sometimes I take
Yes.
out the Maju.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes
sorry.
I take out the Aramasa, right? As
Yeah,
well.
this is like essentially the slot of the Magatama because it's just another name to serve as an extra interruption. So
Yeah. It's just fine. So that is our very amazing deck that we made. I made. He made. Whoever, doesn't matter. Totally not stolen from anywhere. Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Oh, there's a million people. Thank you to Xavier for giving me like the whole deck.
Yeah, none of this
Like,
is his, by the way. This
max-
guy's broke as
Max
hell.
rarity. Was Peck gave me cards behind the camera. Thank you, Peck.
Leroy,
Who else? Why
didn't he give you cards?
No.
Oh,
No, he gave you a hamp.
Thanks.
yeah, but I did.
Thanks, Leroy.
Yeah.
Cody Thorland gave me cards, and Henry Lai gave me cards. Thank you for Elliot and all that for letting me stay in Elliot's bed actually with him.
Yeah. Yeah, just thanks out specifically to like the boys in Henry's, Colin for letting us stay. Hamish and Ryan for letting me have a set of songs to use. Burden a lot for like we
Burden
haven't
helped
been
us.
playing this game.
Yeah.
We were like stressing maybe 2 days before the event. He was like, just play the Dinky deck, and then we played the Dinky deck and was like, this is good, but it's not quite there, and then we changed it. And then Ryan for pieces of advice on the deck building. Some of it didn't stick, some of it did. Ryan for top 8 as well.
Ryan for ruining the format.
Ryan for
Yeah. Ryan for something for
Irreparable damage.
That's the only one.
But yeah, shout out WFL, shout out Cardman,
Yes,
shout out
sir.
Melbourne Yu-Gi-Oh, type shit.
Melvin, GG Melvin.
Yeah. Grand J Games, Dylan specifically.
I fucking
Garrett.
hate that guy.
Yeah, just all our friends, everyone who helped us, everyone who's nice to us, everyone who's calm, everyone who drank beers with us.
True.
Yeah.
Thank
Cool. Thank you for watching.
you.